There couldn't possibly be more hype about NFTs right now. You've probably heard people talking about how NFTs will revolutionize everything from gaming to art collecting. Some people even believe that NFTs have the ability to shake up real-world activities like buying and selling real estate. In this video, I'd like to examine some of the hype around NFTs and see if we can dig a little deeper to find out what's going on in this space. This is the first in a series of videos where we're going to talk about NFTs. I want this series to be different from most of the other videos out there that are covering this topic. Rather than spending our time talking about technical details like ERC 721 and ERC 1155, I want to focus more on the solutions and innovations that this technology is enabling. This is where the excitement is, and it's also where we can get a really good understanding of the different directions that people are heading with NFTs. It's the fun stuff, so to speak. In this video, our first, I will cover the basics of what an NFT is, but only briefly. There are literally hundreds of videos on YouTube that already cover this content, some of which I'll link in the comments below. You only need a rudimentary understanding of the basics to be able to see the potential of NFTs. So I'll give you a brief overview and then link you up with some additional resources if you want to know more. Then we'll talk a little bit about cats, specifically digital cats, which provide a great case study of how this tech can be applied. We'll also debunk some myths that the popularity of these cats has given rise to. In videos 2 and 3, we'll dive deep into the wonderful world of NFTs. We'll look at many of the creative and innovative ways that this technology is being applied to change the way people are interacting with things as diverse as art, sports, gaming, and even music. We'll also spend some time talking about risk and some of the things that I think you need to be mindful of if you want to play in this space. But more on these things later. Let's start with the basics. Hi guys, my name is AG Hunter and welcome back to my channel. My goal is to help you make better investment decisions by providing quality analysis of cryptocurrency projects. If you like what you see, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. This is the first in a new style of videos that I'm trying, so if you like it, please let me know. Also, if you have any feedback or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. As I said in my intro, I don't want to spend too much time on the details of what NFTs are. I've put some links in the description to some of the better resources that I found while researching this series. It is helpful to cover some rudimentary definitions, however, before we start. Firstly, NFT stands for Non Fungible Token. NFTs are special kinds of tokens that record ownership of assets on the blockchain. The thing that makes them special and different from other blockchain assets like Bitcoin relates to their fungibility. The term fungibility has been around forever, but it used to be something that you would only learn about if you studied business, economics, or banking. Suddenly, everybody wants to know about fungibility. Fungibility has become fashionable, so to speak. If something is fungible, it means that it is interchangeable. A jar of red jelly beans is a great example. If you pull out a handful of jelly beans, you don't care which particular jelly beans you get because all of the jelly beans are essentially the same. One jelly bean is interchangeable with any other jelly bean. A fancy way of saying this is to say that the jelly beans are fungible. The reason you come across this concept in economics and banking is because fungibility is a very important concept when it comes to money. To understand why, consider a simple example. Imagine I lent you a $10 note to buy lunch and then a week later you wanted to pay me back. If money was not fungible, meaning that each individual banknote was unique, then you would need to give me back the same $10 note that I lent you in the first place. This would defeat the purpose of having borrowed the money at all. Because currency is fungible, however, we don't have this problem. All $10 notes are effectively the same and they are also interchangeable, meaning you can use any note to repay your debt. Something is non-fungible if it's unique and it cannot be interchanged with other similar items. Many day-to-day items are non-fungible. Works of art are non-fungible, as are things like rare stamps, rare coins, and other collectibles such as football, baseball, and basketball cards. Pets are also non-fungible. I once moved interstate and paid a professional pet removal company to transport my dog. When the removal company delivered my pet, they delivered the wrong dog. They did deliver a brown Labrador, but it was not my brown Labrador. While this problem was solved by a quick phone call and my dog arrived the next day, it does demonstrate that not all brown dogs are the same. They are non-fungible. So to bring the discussion back to cryptocurrency, a non-fungible token is a special type of cryptographic token which represents something unique. Non-fungible tokens are thus not mutually interchangeable. Their non-fungibility is given to them by specific information which is embedded in the metadata of the token itself. This gives rise to 3 distinct characteristics of NFTs. Each token is unique, they are normally indivisible, meaning they can't be broken down into smaller pieces, and they are usually scarce because only a certain number of each type of NFT is created. While all of this has the potential to sound quite dry, these characteristics of NFTs make them extremely powerful in a wide variety of applications. NFTs are being employed in gaming applications, in the art world, in collectibles more generally, and even in the music industry. The rest of this video series will look at each of these types of applications and some others to demonstrate the power of this new innovation. The natural place to start is gaming. This is both the aspect of NFTs that has gained the most attention in recent times and also one of the areas where we first saw NFTs introduced. The proverbial granddaddy of NFTs is the CryptoKitties game. CryptoKitties is a blockchain-based game where players are able to purchase, collect, breed, and sell virtual cats. Launched in 2017, CryptoKitties pretty much took over the Ethereum blockchain in the second half of that year. The game was wildly successful, but outside of the blockchain community, it got a very bad rap, as did blockchain in general for being seen to be overwhelmed by what many thought was such a frivolous activity. I have a friend who intensely dislikes all things blockchain. To this day, he uses CryptoKitties as his go-to example of everything that is wrong with the cryptocurrency space. He's also not alone in believing this. I think this is a really unfair assessment of the CryptoKitties craze and the technologies that it pioneered. So let's debunk some of these criticisms. Firstly, CryptoKitties overwhelmed the Ethereum network at a time when Ethereum was very new. The fact that it congested the network so badly was more a sign of how spectacularly successful the game was than a problem with the underlying blockchain itself. And the fact that it was a game should in no way invalidate the success of the technology. At its heart, CryptoKitties was about collecting digital cats. Many people who saw this as frivolous couldn't get past this point. In reality though, all sorts of people collect all sorts of things and nobody bats an eyelid. People collect basketball cards, stamps, old coins, and rare books. When I was a kid, I collected hotel soaps. You know those little bars of soap you get when you stay in a hotel? Well, I collected those. People collect all sorts of random things, so it should be no surprise that some people enjoy collecting digital cats. And just because something doesn't appeal to you doesn't mean that it doesn't have merit as an investment. A good comparison to CryptoKitties is Pokemon Go. This was a game that took the world by storm in 2016. Most people think that Pokemon Go faded away more than 4 years ago, but the game is still played by thousands of people every day. And perhaps more importantly, those thousands of players generated a revenue of $894 million in 2019. That's nearly $1 billion for a game that peaked in popularity years ago. What's important about CryptoKitties in the context of this conversation is not just how successful it was, but also the way in which it used the technology of NFTs. If you played CryptoKitties, each cat was unique, with what the game creators called its own DNA coded into the token. Because each cat was unique, when you bred these cats in the game, each combination of cats gave you unique offspring. Because only a certain number of cats were created, cats which gave rise to valuable offspring themselves became valuable because of their scarcity. Whilst it was impossible to predict with certainty what offspring you would get from breeding different cats together, it was possible to research specific traits you were targeting and then aim to purchase and breed cats that gave you the best chance of producing the kind of offspring you were seeking. If you struck it lucky and produced a litter of kitties with a valuable trait, then you could either hold them as collectibles or sell them at a profit. CryptoKitties was not successful because it was about cats. It was successful because it used technology to create a game bringing together elements of traditional gaming, collecting, and even threw in an element of gambling speculation on the side. You can still play it today, and even if you have no desire to own a digital cat, it's worth visiting the Dapper Labs website to get an understanding of the way in which the game showcases the features of NFTs more generally. So NFTs are a powerful tool that can be used to create items of value. Despite the bad press, CryptoKitties encapsulated many of the features that make this technology so useful and adaptable. This same technology is being employed today in a variety of different ways in the gaming world, which is where we'll pick up our story in the next video in our series. So if you're still here, that means you've watched all the way to the end, which must mean that you like what you've seen. Please hit like and subscribe to show your appreciation. Also, if you have any comments or suggestions on this video, or would like to suggest topics for future videos, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.